Factor Crap as my camera phrases again. I don't know what's going on. But guys, welcome back to Factor Crap. And tonight we turn our sights on a very pointed question. Guys, Factor Crap, is Mike McDaniel on the hot seat? Guys, let me start with the number that you will remember. Under McDaniel, the Dolphins are just 3-14 in games against teams above 500. That is a rough baseline. 3 wins and 14 losses with teams that are above 500. Let that sink in. When the Dolphins face quality opponents, they rarely win. Matter of fact, they suck. Now, combine that with the current situation of 0-3 in the start of the 2025 season. Miami has just scored 56 points over 3 games, an average of 18.7 points per game. That's 25th in the league. While giving up 97. That's 32.3 points per game. That is last in the league. Those margins are brutal. This brings up to the fact side of this argument. That 3-14 record against teams above 500 looms large. If you're building a case that Mike McDaniel struggles when the stakes are at its highest, that is your foundation. Add in the poor start, media heat, fans chanting and calling for his hiring, and whispers being replenished play calling duties. The pressure is unmistakable. But let's pause for a second and acknowledge the counterbalance. Mike McDaniel does have contract security. He was extended to 2028, giving him financial protection even amidst the rough start. He also has his pedigree. First 2 seasons produced playoff berths, and his team often outperformed expectations versus weaker matchups. And the fact is that the Miami Dolphins are 25-12 against 500 or worse teams in his tenure, is frequently cited by his defenders. So here's where I land, guys. I think this is a fact. I think Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat. That 3-14 record versus better teams is a glaring vulnerability. And combining that with the foundering start this season, the warning signs are flashing. But here's where the nonsense starts. I don't believe his job is immediately doomed. He still stands wholesome runaway thanks to his extension and owner support. But if Miami can pull together a couple wins, especially against a 500 squad, this might quiet things a little bit. But if not, the seat gets hotter and hotter and hotter after each loss. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Mike McDaniel's job is in immediate danger, or is just an early season overreaction? Let me know. Let me know. Lord says, Buck, it's time for a little bit of Factor Crap. It is time for that Factor Crap, baby. But Alpha Rob says, let me play it as simple as day. Buck, it is a fact. I don't know how much more clear I need to make this. Buck, this is a fact, Jack. And Laura as well say, yo, I normally would say, slow it down, baby. I normally would say, you know what, Buck, you crazy. But Laura's like, it's his fact, baby. Get McDaniels out of town now. Guys, matter of fact, I don't understand how Mike McDaniels has a job to this day. Because when you look at Mike McDaniels year after year, game after game, matter of fact, after this show is like over, guys, I want you to go to youtube.com and look up Mike McDaniels post-game interviews. Does this not look like this guy is consistently high, consistently drunk, or just out of his ever-loving mind? Like, every time he talks, I feel high. Every time he talks, like, dude, wipe the cocaine off of your nose. Like, what is wrong with you? He is absolutely crazy. But Alpha Rob says Tua's limitations is going to get him fired. Alpha Rob, you are correct. This is probably Tua's last year in Miami. And if the Miami Dolphins are correct or not dumb, if you're going to trade, release, do whatever you're going to do with like Tua, your franchise quarterback, and you're going to draft a quarterback, don't you think you want a new coach to come in and draft that quarterback, not Mike McDaniels? Because if you don't do that, you are going to be the Chicago Bears 2.0. 2.0 is in George Lucas is, it's facts, baby. It's facts. It is all facts, baby. It is all facts at the end of the day. Guys, I think we're all on the same page. Mike McDaniel should have been fired last year. He needs to be fired now. If he lasts till the end of the season, we will all be shocked. Tyreek Hill getting hurt is not an excuse. He was bad before them. Was bad before them, guys. Moving on to the next